There we go. We are live. Let's see how long it takes it for it to pick up.
Oh, well, I was the last time I checked.
Well, it still says 0 though.
I've got Jack. I ain't got nothing going.
Give it a few minutes and see. I got to turn my bot on. Oh, there we go. 14 people.
14.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me kill the volume.
There we go.
Oh.
Now, before we get started, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Okay.
Mainly what I was telling you about misinterpreting, I guess you would call it.
Misinformation?
No, we don't say that.
We don't.
No. So when we get in
Well,
trouble
when Sam they change that?
Every time I get in trouble for it.
That's a damn good reason. Okay. Yeah, I apologize. I did not know. I just thought it was one of them times you couldn't remember what it was called, like me.
No, I was. Oh, the bot kicked in already. Oh, yeah, it did. Holy crap!
Okay, so in other words, I'll sit back, shut up, and let you talk.
Well, the first part anyway is about. I put out 2 videos today, and it seems like both of them came out wrong or something. I know there's a lot of activity going on and everything. First one we're talking about is a short that I put out. I found a video, and the first one I found was, well, it's the same video, but I've heard 30 different stories about this video, and it was actually, I think I still have it somewhere. Yeah, let me go ahead and play it in case you didn't see it.
Hello, Buster.
Here we go. Now, this video has been done in so many different states. It's been from Canada to Florida to wherever. And actually, it is in San Diego is where this took place. And there's a news broadcast about it and everything. But people are posting this and saying that, World War III's getting ready to happen. We're getting ready for it. We're sending our troops over and this and that and the whole 9 yards. And people are oh no, they're getting scared and whatnot. And I just said, I have to post something about it. This is ridiculous. Why this is going on. And so I made that little bit of 30-40 second video saying that this is about Marines in California, San Diego, that are coming home from being deployed. And they do this every time they come home. They travel in formation and land at the base, and then they celebrate with their families. It happens all the time. But somebody took a video of it and then said, oh, we're going to war and this and that. Oh, we're sending them to Taiwan. And I've seen 2 videos of this happening in Taiwan. And it just irritated the heck out of me that people are putting this stuff out there just to clickbait, just to get people to, watch their videos and get more subscribers and whatnot. Instead of report the story, like, and it's a shame that an actual news company got it right, that they posted it right. And I've had a lot of people yell at me and say this, we're going to war, we're sending 40,000 people over to Ukraine right now, and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if we are or we're not, but the fact is, this clip that you're seeing is in San Diego of these people coming home from the deployment. It is nothing else. And that's what I wanted to get out, is to make sure if you see something, you don't say you believe it 100%. Even when I post something, I don't want people to think anything I say is true. I want you to find out for yourself and make sure. Because so often, in the way we are right now with the media, half the stuff is not true, and other stuff that should be posted is not allowed. And so often it gets, there's YouTubers, there's TikTokers, there's people on Twitter posting this stuff. I was on Twitter and I seen this video so many times, and everybody had the wrong information for every one of those videos. And I said, and I even posted the link to the story of, in San Diego. And they still said, oh no, that's fake news. That didn't happen. And I'm like, it did. There's other videos of the people who are waiting there for their family, or their, the Marines coming home, filming it, and the same helicopters coming down and whatnot, and they still don't believe. Oh, it's something else. And I kind of can't condemn somebody for believing so much into something, because we've been lied to so much by, the people in power that it's feeding this to some people, and they won't believe anything except for, the very bad thing that's going to happen. And then the other video I put out, it was just as bad. People saying, oh, and I can't really say it on here because we're live, so I'm just going to call it Martial Law Man. And you can kind of Marshall Dillon, yeah. And
go ahead.
Like people are saying, well, I'm a law-abiding citizen, so I don't have anything to worry about. And that sounds good. Everybody should be law-abiding citizens, but go read the definition of it, and go read what the military can do, or you might as well say the government, because they're the ones who are telling the military to do this or that.
Y'all will be very shocked what they can.
And then there's a lot more than just, oh, they just make sure you're home at 10 o'clock. There's a lot more other stuff that they can do. And that's the point I was getting at. Say you don't want to be part of, being being forced to get things, or being forced to get into a camp. You might not want to be in that area. So that's what my idea was, saying other ways not to go along with them. So if you were in a city, get out, do this, do that, whatever. You can go watch the video, but that's all the video was about, giving people ideas of what to do in case this happens, which might, you never know. It's coming down to it's not good. We have so many things right now.
Well, now, Buster Dillon said something that me and you talked about before the show, or just a few minutes ago. People need to research everything before panicking.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I made a comment, out of 10 people, you may get a half a person who's going to research, but they're not going.
Hold on a second. Thank you, Chrissy Cat, for being a member. I really appreciate it. Okay, Jeff, go ahead.
But that one person's not going to research it to the fullest. They may do a bit of reading on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, hell, I even do that. There are some things I don't investigate to the T, and later on, I regret not doing it.
And it's not that you're wrong for not doing that. It's because we were in a time period where when something was reported on news, it was true. Because if a reporter lied or stretched the truth just a little bit, he wasn't in that field anymore. He was a busboy somewhere, because you couldn't get a job as a reporter. But nowadays it's just You can say whatever you want to say, and there's no, oh, he lied. Okay, well, give him a raise. There's nothing to stop them from doing this nowadays.
Well, it seems like now, if they do tell the truth, they get fired for telling the truth.
Not getting the ratings are not high enough.
Yeah, everything is ass backwards compared to what it was, 30, 40 years ago. And I thought, there's a few, well, I'm going to say there's probably many in chat that probably remember them days turning on the news, Cronkite and, ones like that. When they open their mouth, you can believe it. Now, you look at them, and before they even say anything, you saying, what you gonna lie about today? That's just the way the world's got.
It used to be everybody was like, oh, CNN is bad, but Fox is good. Now people are starting to think maybe Fox isn't as is on our side. I wouldn't say our side, but you know what I mean. And now it's like, what news do you watch? You can't really watch any news. Because even the news companies, remember when the Ukraine thing first started, this was CNN and Fox were posting a video about these jets flying over and whatnot, and they saying they're bombing this and bombing that and doing this and doing that, but it was a video from like 7 years ago of a celebration that they were doing in Russia. It wasn't even in Ukraine, and they were posting it saying this was happening in Ukraine. And it wasn't until somebody came out and compared the videos and said this was and so 7 years ago. Why are you guys doing this fake news stuff? And nothing was ever done.
Well, now there's a couple of channels that me and you watch, and there's one that we've been a part of, to where the creator would go through and dissect. I don't know if that's the correct word to use or not, but it would show, let's say like cars that got bombed, from a landmine or something like that. Not one burnt spot on the bottom of the car,
No.
like that. Or let's say a building got blowed up.
Well,
Okay.
you bring that up, and there's actually wasn't too long ago. This is like this week. They showed a place in Ukraine that they said it was bombed, a hotel, and come to find out, it's actually in Utah, and it caved in. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but it's actually in Utah. It's the same building. They show it from the same angle and everything, and they try to put it off as it was a hotel or something over in Ukraine, or an apartment building. And it was in Utah.
Well, see, I was talking to a damn good friend of mine. I believe it was yesterday. Excuse me. I believe it was yesterday. And we got on this subject. And it just flat out me saying, follow the money.
Oh,
that's what it's coming down to. They have even took film clips from movies and made it look like it was from over in Ukraine. It happened over there.
yeah.
I mean, you can't trust the media. You can't trust TV no more. Period.
It's because the powers that be have their finger on the media, telling them what to post and whatnot, because they thought, oh, we're going to be the saviors over there in Ukraine. We're going to send them this and that, but nobody wants it. Not even on their side. Their side don't want it unless they're getting money for it, but they don't want it. So that's their idea to get more people involved in it, make it worse than it is, and all that stuff.
Well, now I'm gonna say this slow. That way you can stop me. I'm gonna go a little bit too far. But with all the money that has been gathered up to go to certain places, how much of that money is really going to the people?
None.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, now it was said that at one time our military had enough ammo to last them. Since a certain person has became president, our military don't have no ammo no more. Well, they got some, but they don't have enough if something was to break out. Okay.
Yeah. There's something that I'm doing a lot of research in, so I'm not going to say it on live stream, but there are certain graveyards, and it's not that houses people's remains or anything, but they're outdated flying crafts that that are not used anymore. We're using more high-tech jets and things like that. Well, we are actually going into these graveyards and repurposing our older stuff. And I don't know the exact reason why we're doing this or not yet. I don't know if it's that we're running out of this equipment since we sent it all away. Are we, because they're asking people, yes, Jason, you're right. Actually, it's Tucson, Arizona. They're asking for pilots that used to fly these, because the people nowadays that are flying the high tech stuff don't know how to fly these. So they're asking for people who flew them in the past to come up and teach the young guys how to use these. And like I said, at this time, I don't know why we are doing this. Who is, the people in power that run the country? They're getting this stuff and they're repurposing the stuff that's in the graveyards right now. And when I say graveyard, that's basically what they are. There's one of the biggest ones I know was in Tucson, and there's a lot of people reporting of many trucks, many things hauling these things in, and picking them up and taking them somewhere. I don't know the whole story on it. I'm still trying to find out more information, but all I know is we are going back to our older stuff. I don't know why. I don't know the purpose. Are we running out of stuff? I don't know. It's just
okay. I got two things I want to say. Number one is Ginger Ninja posted. Now, I don't know if she was in the room when we talked about this, or if she's just coming in, but she posted, what's with all the tanks and military coming through towns across America? I've been seeing a lot of videos about that. And number two, it's going to sound like I'm being mean, but I don't care. There is certain things being said in chat I don't want nobody to know nothing about. So if you don't mind, please don't mention nothing about that. Okay, I'm done.
Well, I didn't really talk about all that stuff, but yeah, she did bring up a good point here, but I don't know if I'm thinking more of, EMP proof. I don't know if those things are that or not, because it's really not that old. I mean, they're older, but I don't know if they're EMP proof or not. See, that's where I'm talking to somebody that has information about all that stuff. So,
well, let me.
Hopefully, I'll have a video coming out. It probably won't be here though. It'll probably be on my backup channel.
Let me put my 2 cents in on that. And the chances are I may be wrong, what I'm fixing to say. I was number one about talking EMP is going to happen. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. But after, let's say within the last year, certain stuff has happened throughout America. I'm not going to say just in one area. I believe it's not going to be an EMP. Somebody's going to cut the power, and one of the world powers has said it within a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that they would do this because a certain power blew up, let's say, a gas line. And I'm going to leave it alone at that right there. But what goes around comes around. And if they knock out the power, there goes communications. There goes your lights. There goes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, we are definitely crippled. We can't even dial 911 for our country. Do you know how easy something could happen when that happens? Now, mind you, I'm not going to, you could restore the power a lot quicker if it was cut than if an EMP was to go off. That's my 2 cents worth right there. And I'm starting to lean more towards that than I am an EMP. And hello to everyone out there. I keep reading chat. They keep telling us hello and we've not acknowledged nobody yet.
Yeah, I keep getting ready to. But yeah, I didn't mean for this to go off that far from the subject of tonight. I just wanted to get, because like I said, I did a short and a small video, and they both, I don't know if it just, I didn't word everything right or whatnot, but it just went the wrong way, I guess. And there's a lot of people that took it the wrong way and whatnot, and I kind of wanted to explain it a little bit better.
Well, maybe we can bring this part up on my channel come Thursday. Because
what I wanted to do is kind of, because a lot of time chat is it's just there, and the people up here are talking, and like last week or Friday and Saturday, I did a thing to where I got chat involved in. It wasn't really trivia. I don't know what the heck it was, but it's a game to keep people their minds off of things, and it got chat involved, which is what I kind of wanted to do tonight. Is get, as long as we can try to not get into subjects that we're not allowed to talk about. So if there's stuff from chat that you guys want to ask and we can talk about, I think that'd be wonderful. That way chat gets involved in the live. So if there's a subject that you guys want to talk about, just, shout it out. But then again, like I said, it has to be like subjects that we can actually talk about.
Well, I'm fixing to open up a door here. Dude, hold my beer. I'm sitting here eating a can of peaches, and damn, they good too. Hello, Chef Kicker, Autumn Leaf, Watt Life, Alan Martz, Mr. Boswell, Miss B Charming, AB. Man, it's nice to see you up in here.
Your fiance thinks that I've lost my mind with all my storage. Yeah, that could come. Yeah, I guess if you're storing a lot of food and stuff. I think that's what you're getting at. And one way to, if your fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, husband, wife, are not into the prepping, I guess, as much as you. Because I get this asked a lot. What do you tell somebody that doesn't think prepping is a good thing? And no, you don't say bye. You try to explain it to them. Say, well, I get all this food. I buy it now because 2 months down the line, that same food could be double the price. And that's just that's taking it not as a like, well, we have this food in case World War III happens, or whatever happens. It's a lighter way to explain it.
Gonna be one heck of a block party.
Or say your power goes out and you have this little gas stove that you could cook food on when the power's out. Because power does go out, there's storms and whatnot, and it's ways you can explain it than making it seem so grim. And that's one of the reasons why, like, Doomsday Prepper, I thought, oh man, this would be a great show. Yeah. Until I watched it, and I'm like, why are they making fun of the people? Why did you pick this crazy person who shoots their finger off or something like that? And they made fun of it, and they everybody who watched it that wasn't preppers, they thought, oh, these are crazy people, but here come 2020 come around. Preppers aren't so crazy, are they?
Now, Phil R. asked, Bushy asked, why do you buy insurance or have a savings account?
Yeah. Why do you have a spare tire in the car?
Yeah, or what do you have, an extra car key or a house key?
Yeah.
Lola Guacamole, me and you think just alike on that idea. She says kick them out the door.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes there are people that they have their set ways, and they go to the store like 3 times a week, or they go to the store once a week or something like that, and it's they're stuck in their ways.
Yeah, they already see it.
Look what happened this last few years. Okay, here's one off the wall question for you then. Always wanted to know, what do men think about when they have a small rise and want to get rid of it? Told me, I have no idea.
I'll be the first to say, I'm sorry. I'm lost with that question. I mean, as bad as I hate to, well, I don't really hate to say it, but you're going to have to be just a tad bit more specific.
Yeah. Sometimes it's really hard, especially with neighbors, because you don't want to kind of tell them that, you have some food stored back just in case, or I have water or whatnot, and I have a generator or things like that. But you would like your whole block to be, all preppers. That way, your neighbor's not going to come over and try to take what you have.
Life with Bobby. I'm not saying nothing. I'm leaving that alone.
Oh. Yeah, everybody should have a well a even if you have a gas stove, you know, a main gas stove, you still should have an alternate way to cook food other than going out and making a fire, which could be very dangerous, by the way, on at certain situations. But they, I don't know, they're not that cheap now, but Walmart used to have a little one burner for $20. I don't think they're that cheap anymore, but and they work good. You get that little thing of gas that used to cost 99 cents. It doesn't cost that anymore.
The stove you're talking about is less than $25, and I think the gas cylinder at my Walmart is about $1.50.
No, they're $3.98.
Damn.
Because I went and
checked them.
Yeah, because I've only got a case and a half of them, so I wanted to finish filling the rest of the case up, and I was like, "Woo!"
Well, now I've got 3 different type stoves. I've got that one that you're talking about, which that's the main one I use. And I've got 2 of the camp stoves that takes the bottle gas, the bigger bottles.
Yeah, and that's the right there. You can actually use propane or the butane on those. You just have to have the adapter for it. And you can, I'm sure many of you guys already know this, you can get adapters to where you can hook it up to regular propane tank and fill those little tanks up.
Now, my son asked me, I think it was about a year ago, what I wanted for Father's Day. I told him, I said, I wouldn't mind having a flat top grill. And he said, why? I said, in case the power goes out, you know, because I'd have something to cook on. He got me one. And we got to putting it together and everything. I can use the
propane or the little tanks. Yeah,
I can use either or. You know,
and it's basically the same thing. It's just one has it's different pressures.
It is. It is. You know,
one's more gas than the other.
Well, there was we got LP gas for the house. That's how we heat during the wintertime. And with another company, the guy that was bringing the gas out showed me how to disconnect it from the tank and hook it up to a grill. You know, or how to take bottled gas and heat my house. I got to have an adapter with it, which I do not have, but it can be done. He showed me how to do it.
I would say no.
Well,
that's a big no right there. I wouldn't trust Saudi Arabia because they've been fishy in the past. And it's depends who we have in power too. How trustworthy they are.
I think
because if we have somebody that, so I'm just going to plain say it. If we have somebody in office that has balls to them, they're more trustworthy. because they think twice before crossing us. Right now, they don't fear who we have in office, so they're like, "Hey, I'll go with this person. I don't care about them." You know.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one. You know what I think. But who was it? John Johnson. Electric grid down, 50-50. Please find me a Republican politician that wants to raise Social Security. Now, I'm going to say this right here. Ever since dumbass got into office, and yeah, I said that word, okay, he's been promising raises for
I get stuff every month saying I'm getting a raise, but I never do.
Bro, that's what I was fixing to ask.
Yeah, it's
how many people has really gotten a raise since? I mean, on Social Security, we supposed to have gotten 2 this month. You know, I'm sorry, I'm disabled. My wife is retired. She has yet to see jack damn shit from this dumb ass. And if I counted it up one time, if she was to have gotten everything he promised, it would have been what, $3,000-4,000. The only thing I can say is on paperwork, we got the raise, but another country got the money. I'm done.
Okay. I took care of something, by the way. Just don't say nothing now, but
private chat. I think I know what you talk about.
But where was I at on here?
Okay. I ain't saying that.
Yeah, it's a game between the two. They say, well, you know, Republicans want to get rid of Social Security, and then the Democrats say, or the Republicans say the same thing about. It goes back and forth. You know, it's one of those things. It's a tool for them to get votes either way. And the thing is, we pay for that. It's. I worked before I was legally able to work, and paid taxes, and paid my Social Security and all that fun stuff for years until I got hurt. So that's what I paid for, disability. So, I mean, that's why everybody that works pays into that stuff in case, you know, you get hurt and you're not able to work. You paid in money to, you know, get paid while you're disabled. Or if you work the whole time, you get that money because you paid into it so long.
Now, did you see pinball the other day?
I haven't been watching anything.
Well, there's how did he put that? Where the government screwed him out of $500,000 or right at $500,000 because they are dropping. Let's say, like we supposed to get $1,000 a month. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. They're gonna drop it because they don't have the money in there. Well, if the assholes would quit spending our money, we would have had it to begin with.
Yeah,
my opinion is get rid of them.
Yeah, that's one of the thing. Another thing I was going to kind of bring up. I'm surprised you're the first one to bring it up about trying to think of a new word for that, but it's just not there. It's just not Louisiana. It is all over. And They are saying this is why we're going to lose power. And I'm not talking about who's in office. I'm talking about, the electricity type power is
Yeah.
because a certain country, Russia is using people on computers to take control over stuff. And I don't know. I'm not 100% on board with it because where this information is coming from. Now, if information came from somebody, not related to Washington, I would probably believe it more. But when there's a lot of stuff happening and then they're trying to turn our heads to look over here, make sure you're keeping your eyes on behind you because there's something they might be trying to do that just to keep you focused on one thing instead of what's really going on.
Well, somebody brought up to me as we was talking yesterday. That's crying shame that Russia is supposed to be so badass on a bunch of things. They can't even whoop Syria's ass. And
what's Syria have to do with it?
well, it might not Syria, the one they fighting with now.
Ukraine?
Yeah, Ukraine. They can't even whoop them.
Oh, they can. Just because they don't go and crush them doesn't mean they can't do it. I mean,
there's more about Ukraine than what people truly know. I'll put it like that.
well, the thing is, there are places, and I'm not going to get into much stuff here because there are places in Ukraine that hold information about other countries. I'll put it that way, and other countries' leaders that they don't want to destroy. They want to take that stuff and have it for themselves to control other countries. All I'm going to say about it. So
next subject.
Yeah. And yeah, that they like I said, the media puts it, they try to make it look like one. I'm not saying either or are better than the other one, because I think both of them are just as bad as each other, because certain people left from Germany and lived in Ukraine. Same thing with things that happen in Russia, lived in Ukraine. And that's it on that. I don't want to get in that subject.
Bill, that's about what he's talking about. But I'm going to let him tell you whether to take that comment down or not, because it may not get him in trouble for that one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just not wanting to talk about the old Germany people, that kind of stuff. Oh, what life? I was watching. There's a guy on Alone that wasn't representing Georgia very well, and I thought of you because he kind of resembles you. He's a real big guy and everything. I don't know if anybody watches Alone, but the new season started, and Poor guy from Georgia got lost. He was ready to give up, and he finally found. He was trying to find the coast to where he can go back to his place, and he ended up walking right back to his place and didn't realize, wait, that's my shelter. And I was thinking, because he started off that he's a good hunter, he's a great tracker, and this and that, and he's making himself real big and bad, and then he got lost.
So, in other words, there's a good joke in there. Just don't say nothing.
Yeah, I that's one of the shows I do like though is Alone, because they're out there by themselves for the most part.
How many people in chat could go out into the woods by themselves, let's say 3 months, and live like that? Well,
It'd be harder for me now though.
yeah, it would me too, because that ground gets cold as shit.
Well, he said he was from the country though. I'll have to watch. I'll have to watch it again to see. As far as I know, he's doing good.
I talked to him right before the show.
He's taken off until his truck stuff is taken care of.
Now, he did tell me he's going to get his truck back, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
Haunted Forest? Oh boy.
Oh, hell no. No. Put them in Japan.
Yeah, if they asked me to do it, I would. It'd kind of be hard for me right now to do it, but oh yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. Now, I get a kick out of these people that they go out there and well, Craig knows this, but because if you use a bow, I seen this person take a shot at a bear with a practice arrow. Yep. Now, I don't know if that's all the arrows this person's ever used, or they don't know, they're not skilled in bow hunting or anything. They didn't know or whatnot, but you're going to piss a bear off. You shoot him with a practice arrow. A practice arrow it has a point on it, but it's meant to go through a paper target and stick maybe into a bale of hay or something. You could probably take out a squirrel, but the fact that's what they shot with, it surprised that. I don't know if they have other arrows in this, but I was like, why are they using practice arrows?
Well, maybe they wanted to know if they could hit the target.
Well, you find out real quick when he turned around and charged you.
Wait a minute. He was practicing on a real bear? He wasn't practicing.
He wasn't practicing. He was going to, kill it or try to. He missed twice, which is probably good that he did. But
okay,
it's very, very hard to do. Even if you were real close, I still don't see, because that it's almost like trying to take a boar out with a slingshot.
Well, like dude, hold my beer said, well, what marathon was he practicing for if he was going to hit that damn bear?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen the razor sharp arrows.
Off.
I forget what they're called, but they're the really sharp ones. I've seen those go in and not even make it that far into a hide of a bear. And then the person actually had to use a sidearm, empty the sidearm.
Oh yeah.
Because the arrow just pissed him off.
Well, I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah. And I was like, because you can see when they get up there and they're aiming, and yeah, that the part how he's even holding it. That's why I thought he's never used it.
Boy,
hasn't used a bow very much.
well, you know, that kind of makes you wonder. How in the hell did the Indians really shoot and kill a bear with bows back then? Because I will admit, bear has some real tough skin.
Well, buffalo is even tougher, and they took buffalo down, but they knew how to do it, and they didn't use practice arrows either. They used the homemade, the flint and stuff.
Arrowheads.
Yeah. And they did it it wasn't just one person would shoot. They would pick a target, and 3 or 4 of them would go after that target. Yeah, spears too. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. You right.
And then their bows were a lot stronger than, we got the compound bows and all that stuff, but their pulls were a lot harder than ours. Because now it's real easy. You got 50 pounds and it pulls back so easy compared to theirs.
Go use a true compound bow. What is it? A compound that don't have the wheels?
Oh
no,
no, that's compound has the.
Yeah, I can't think of it. Try using a true bow. Shit, you're gonna be lucky if you can pull that thing back 6 inches.
Well, that's what I mean. It depends on like the long bow or recurve bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of those, I've tried to pull those back, and it's like, how in the hell do they do that? But that's all they did. That's all they did.
Yeah.
And you sit there and think, we go to the store and buy an arrow. They made an arrow. They had to get the perfect, shaft for the arrow. They whittled down a arrow. I forget what it's called, where I can't remember what it's called, where you make the arrows and you can make the knives and stuff for that. They do that. They chip the stone.
Flint.
Well, they use flint too, but it's also dang, I know.
Yeah.
They make knives and stuff. They take a stone and they hit the rock until it splinters and gets a sharp edge on it. But there's a word for it. I can't remember. I'm waiting for somebody in chat. But anyways, they would spend all this time and make that arrow. They would use the parts of whatever they killed to make to tie the arrow on, and then the arrowhead, and they'd make the the feathers, or not make the feathers, but they did made all that stuff by hand. It's for one arrow. And then he kept on doing it over and over again. Oh, sinew. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the tying the arrowhead on. Because they used every bit of that, whatever they killed, they used every little bit of it. Have you ever been to where they it's not a reenactment, it's where they actually do the same thing that they did in the past? Like they used the stomachs and things like that to carry water in and whatnot. Yeah. Have you ever seen that process of them breaking down every part of an animal to use it?
Yes, Chrissy Cat, that's in my front yard here.
It's usually me that has the bird when I go out in the porch and talk.
Well, I'm sitting in an air-conditioned house, okay, and I got my window up.
But and that some of the stuff that they used to do back in, and we all take that for granted nowadays, because if we need something, we just go to the store and buy it. They didn't have a store to buy from. The white man, they had, places they could trade and stuff, but Indians, they had to use all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. It kind of makes me wonder how the Indians lost. But they were so busy fighting amongst themselves. The biggest part of them, the biggest part of the tribes.
Oh yeah, there were some that brought them all together though, and that's why certain people got famous. And he got famous for losing the battle.
You talking about that yellow-haired, long beard,
Custer,
West Point graduate?
Custard, yeah.
Yeah. And the bad thing about it is, Custard graduated at the bottom of his class.
Yeah, well, he got famous.
Yeah, boy, I would not want to get famous like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they all went through different things. I mean, we went through it when we were trying to get away from England and all that stuff.
We did, but look, straight up, I'm glad Custer got what he got, because if y'all know the real reason the Indians done that, and I'm going to give you a little bit of history here. He would wait until the Braves went on a hunt, and then him and his so-called troops would go in and mow everybody down, right from the little ones all the way to the old ones, like that. And they got tired of it. and I think it was something like what, between 5 and 7 tribes got together to stop what he was doing, and they stopped him. That's the only way it could have happened, and I'm glad he got what he deserved. Yeah. That's that.
Oh yeah, look, and I may have somebody coming, hopefully Wednesday for an interview. And again, it's not like a normal thing that I bring to the channel. It's not like a gardener or something like that. It's something a bit different, but sure everybody will enjoy it. It's she does true crime stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And her lives are like real late at night, so that's probably not too many people have seen her, but a lot of stuff that she's following a certain somebody. I won't talk about it, but yeah, something that happened in Idaho, and a lot of interesting stuff that she's following along with the case and everything. And she brings up the court dockets and warrants and all this stuff. Real interesting stuff. So hopefully we can get her for Wednesday.
I think I know who you're talking about. Lester Dillon. My grandmother was. My father was half. So, yeah. He said his grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee.
Yeah, I bet you a lot of people don't realize this, but Cherokee owned people. I'll say that. I don't want to say the other word. They actually owned over 4,000 of them at one time.
Now, if you really want to get into it, all tribes did. All tribes owned certain people at one time.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just, and they even went with their own, you know, a lot of times. But
what? Today is National Garfield the Cat Day. Take my cat to work. Okay. They're sleeping.
Now I can deal with Garfield. I can deal with Garfield. That's the only cat I ever seen to eat lasagna like he does.
Yeah, actually, I might make lasagna for supper tomorrow.
What time supper? Vesper, you're right. That does go back to biblical times, but people don't want to go back that far. You know. Yes,
yeah, I know a lot of people that are Cherokee, have Cherokee blood in them.
Now, my mother's side was Cherokee, Apache. My daddy's side was Cherokee. So you ain't going there with that one.
It's supposed to have been, I forget, I can't remember, but my great something other in the past was raised, was taken and then raised by, I forget what tribe in Indian or whatnot, and we're supposed to have a little bit of Indian, and I can't remember which one it was though. or don't even know where it was at.
Well, now depending on where you live, you can have Sioux, you can have Apache. Here on the East Coast, in the South, I think it's more Cherokee. Up in New York, it was Mohawks. Down around Florida, it was the Seminoles. Choctaw, you're right. Depending on what part of the country you live in.
I didn't really live in a place, so you can't really say that. That's what I said. I don't remember what it was. I just heard the story, and I was born in Ohio, but didn't really live here until I lived here.
Barry J., I just opened up my mouth and bam, there it was. Jeff, how did you get a Southern accent?
Yeah, when I was in New Mexico, I had a friend that was Navajo, and I got to go to the reservation all the time. I spent weeks there, and they always say that white people are not welcome and whatnot. They get treated bad or whatnot. I never had any issues or anything. I was treated just like everybody else was. Not saying I was different than anybody else, but it's just the way it was. Like I said, I stayed there all the time. We were best friends. He stayed at my place.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It was as normal. It was just like a normal kid. I got to learn all kinds of cool stuff though, because they would have certain ceremonies and things. Some of them I wasn't allowed to partake in. Some of them were I could watch or whatnot, but I couldn't partake in because it was you have to have the blood in you, I guess.
Mm.
But I did learn a lot of stuff, their food and everything, things like that.
Chrissy Cat, I have a few uncles that drove down Thunder Road, and I'm going to leave it alone right there.
With Garth Brooks?
No, what the hell was his name? Damn.
That's Garth Brooks's one of the songs.
Talking about the movie
Thunder Road. Me and Jeff were talking about Garth Brooks a bit. How anybody says anything about them, they could get, or they speak up and say, "Oh, we don't stand for that," and then they get canceled, and so nobody has the balls to stand up to the crowds and social media and all that stuff.
SCDHL 4. Wait a minute. Was it Garth Brooks' song we was talking about, or was it Alan Jackson's song we was talking about?
Oh, well, what you were just talking about was a Garth Brooks song.
Okay.
What we were talking about was Alan Jackson's song that was, they used it for.
Okay. Certain commercial.
Bud Light commercial.
Okay.
But again, once you sell the rights to your song, get signed and they sell the rights, you really don't have a say in it anymore.
No.
So you can't condemn somebody for, you know, being on there. Yeah, I used to like that song too, but now that he's wanting to open a which is fine. Go ahead and you can open all the Fruit Loop bars you want. As long as I won't have nothing to do with it, but you know, that's fine. You can have all them you want. I just don't like that stuff being forced on people.
It's not my cup of tea.
And being in the schools and everything else. And before anybody has a whole month to themselves, veterans should have a whole month for themselves. So we celebrate our servicemen.
Well, now what about parents? You know, I think parents ought to have a whole month to themselves. You know, Parent Day. Like, yeah, you know.
I don't.
Well, I don't either, but the point of the matter is,
I don't think there should be a month to celebrate anything like that. But that's why I said before anybody else, I think the people who fought for this country should have a month before any of them, be it whatever color or nationality or whatever you are. I think the people who fought for this country, who made the country, should have a month. And then if you want to start having other months, as long as they don't run down the street with their tallywhackers out thinking, oh, I am in rainbow colored Fruit Loops. Because any other time you would get arrested for that.
Man, do I want to say something. Boy, do I want to say something.
Yeah, I know. We used to have, you remember back in the day when we used to have, Lincoln had a birthday, George Washington had a birthday, and then, they have too many birthdays. Let's make it one day for all presidents.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But now they give a month for Fruit Loops, and I know I'm not meaning it in a bad way when I say Fruit Loops. It's just I can't say all the letters in the alphabet because I have no idea what all they are now. So, Fruit Loops. I say Fruit Loops because Fruit Loops are the color of the rainbow. So that's where I'm getting the Fruit Loop. I'm not making fun of people or whatnot. It's just easier for me to say it than,
you know what,
LG, whatever it is.
Now they'll probably make that cereal their national cereal, and damn, I won't be eating no more on account of it.
Well,
as long as they don't mess with my Captain Crunch, I'll be fine. Don't mess with my Captain Crunch.
You don't want to go to Walmart and look in the cereal aisle then. Yep. He went woke.
Captain Crunch went woke.
Yep.
Oh, hell no. They took Sugar Pops off. They don't make them no more.
Oh, yeah. Fruity Pebbles is rainbow colored too, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm pissed now.
There was something else that I seen that, and I was surprised about it, but I kind of wasn't. Dang, what was it?
Mentos and Diet Coke. That's what they need. Go ahead and eat a whole tube of Mentos and then drink some Diet Coke. I'm taking the bet on which end is going to come out first.
But I remember when there was hardly any holidays.
Do you remember y'all used to beg? We used to beg the school systems about every 6 months to get one day off. And now it seems like, twice a month they getting off a teacher's work day or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were saying that parents needed a month. Well, I remember in school saying that kids needed a holiday, and they said, well, that's what the weekends are for.
Mm-hmm. But parents, they don't get no weekends off.
No.
Let me back up. And I know I'm going to get a little controversy going here, and I don't give a shit. A true parent don't take no time off.
Well, you shouldn't. And
Right.
There's a thing which I'm going to make a short on this, because if I would have recorded when I seen this is the thing that's going on around right now, and I'm gonna try to make it to where you guys understand, because I can't say it. Would you delete somebody for your kid? And you can kind of understand what I mean by deleting somebody. And the lady, and this is a woman holding a baby, feeding the baby, and she says, and I'm like shocked, because how do you sit there and think about that? How does one just sit there and try to come up with an answer for that? It should, yes.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's no thinking about it. And the thing is, I would, and the way I said it whenever I watched this video, I said, and I would delete a person to save your kid. and I'm still, and this lady's still, and there's multiple women that are saying this, and they're, oh no, I couldn't do that. And how do people do this now? That, I mean,
society.
Do kids mean that less now than they did when, my kid was little and whatnot, or in the 80s and the 70s and whatnot? And I'm like, it blew my mind.
Really,
totally shocked.
I'm flabbergasted compared to the way we were raised up and now. It's two totally different worlds. It really is.
Yeah, there is this kids were out playing in a yard, and a certain, it was a bus, or not a bus but a van, and they opened the door up and was showing a puppy to these kids.
I come out of the house with a shotgun.
Neighbors from all sides came out and were going to take care of business.
Which
it wasn't their kids. They were there to protect those kids, and grabbed those kids and took them home, and called Popo. And I was when watching this video, the more I thought about it, I was like, I wonder if that happened today, would people come out of their houses to protect those kids?
Nope.
And I said they would probably turn their phones on and record it.
Yep.
And that right there is the difference between how we grew up and nowadays.
Yep.
there's let me see if I have it here.
Leviticus 20:13.
There's a guy. He's a rapper. Uh, he just passed away. He was on stage, and he boom fell down, died. Now there's two stories of this. One story is as soon as he fell down, CPR was given by the crowd. And there was no CPR because everybody had their phones recording it. This guy laying on the ground just fell down. And his name is well, I don't know what his real name is, but his name is Big Pokey. And he did get a pokey. And this is happening a lot, but I won't talk no more about that part of it. But the fact that he fell down, I mean, just fell straight back down, boom, laid on the ground, and you have all these people with their cell phones recording it. Nobody sitting there giving CPR. Nobody took their camera off to call 911.
That really is a shame. It really is. Because back in our day, I mean, that would have been the last damn thing you thought about is pulling the camera out. The first thing you done was try to help the person. You know, yeah. Somebody in chat said it. Our world is upside down,
inside out. And wait, that's a song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Upside down.
But boy, you turned me. I know the song. There's one that sings it, and I can't think of her name.
Diana Ross, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do believe at that time, her and Michael Jackson were real close friends. And I'm going to leave that alone there.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the wouldn't mind if the internet went down for 2 months because it's.
I'd love the hell out of it. I really would.
Well, it's a possibility that there's something coming as not on Earth as in the sun. I don't know if anybody's seen, I think it's called a human. It is freaking out big time. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. I was looking at it today and it was crazy looking.
It's called, now wait a minute, human. What exactly is that?
I couldn't tell you. This is one we need 10 up here to explain that. It's a way to read the radiation or the waves that comes from the sun or something like that. But it's going, usually it's like this, and it's like
really?
Yeah.
You know what? We're talking about if the internet went down.
Well, it's power, everything.
For the first 2 weeks, everybody would be in shock, go slap damn crazy. Then after that, you're going to see stuff getting done that we've not seen in years. It's called work.
Oh, wait, I think I can find it here. Let me.
I'm going to speak myself.
I wonder, is AB still in here? Because he posted it today.
I think AB is doing a stream right now. But I'm going to excuse myself right quick.
Okay, I got it here. Share screen. Come on, I got too many tabs open. Now, if you can see this, let's see if I can make it bigger than that. This is what it looks like on the left here. This is what it look like today. It was crazy looking. And that's the energy that's come from the sun.
Let me go big screen.
Like I said, it usually looks like that on the left-hand side, and that's what it looks like today. That wicked old line that's going crazy there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was being posted everywhere today. Yeah, so if you see, I don't know if that actually has made it here, or is it on the way, or did it already happen, or what? So yeah, see, I don't know much about that. When Tin does her thing at night, which she's going on tonight, so I'm gonna probably ask her if she's going to do it tonight. But she explains it a lot better than I could. All I know is it's just, yeah, there's so many different terms for all that. I don't know. I think that was Jeff's phone going off. But yeah, there's NASA said there's a good chance toward the end of this year, internet and power will go down for at least 2 months, up to 2 months.
Yeah, that was my phone.
So you sit there and think of, all these people that live by this little thing here. What will they do? They don't. The majority of them don't know how to use a phone, or don't know how to cook without a phone. They don't. Their food comes to them, and they push buttons. They don't even have to talk to the person. It just gets dropped off at their door. Pay bills. I don't even know if they know what a check is, to where they had to write a check. I remember when my oldest daughter went home economics, they taught you how to balance a checkbook. Soon after that, they took that course out of high school, to where you didn't have to learn that. So I know nobody past then knows how to balance a checkbook. Balance a checkbook? How do you balance it? I could just see them. I can balance it. I'm balancing it fine on my hand. But to actually do it, I very well doubt it. They could. And not only that, what else is there? Communication, where they actually had to talk to somebody that wasn't in a text. There'd be so many people that would just be in a corner. They couldn't do anything. And there is a lot of older people too that are addicted to the phone, to where they have to be on there. They have to do the Facebook thing and the Instagram and all that stuff. That they would lose that addiction. What would they do? You know what I mean? But Like I said, I don't think it would be such a bad thing.
I wonder how
Yeah.
much stuff that the state has or our government has got on internet that if it was to go down, what would or could happen? You know?
Well, there was a president at one time that was he wrote a bill to put a lot of money into um, fixing the internet to where it was protected by the sun and protected by an EMP or all that stuff. And the next president took the money out of that and put it to repair our roads and stuff. And we know how well our roads are doing right now, don't we?
You know what the hell happened?
That's
Somebody fall asleep.
huh?
Did somebody fall asleep and forget about the roads?
Well, that's the thing. That's where all that,
Yeah,
they move money and it's we've got the money there, but there's no money to fix anything.
exactly.
And it's actually on record. Trump had a bill, and he had millions and millions of dollars to fix our power grid and things to bring it up to date. And soon as Potato was in office, he took that money and put it towards his, Build Back Better. Well, he can't even say that now, can he?
No, he can't.
Build Biden Back, or what's he call it now? Yeah, Build Biden Back, or something like that. I forget what he calls it.
This is just a little bit of different news here. Pat Evans posted the tropical depression in Atlantic, just turned into a hurricane.
Yeah.
So that's the first I even heard about that.
Oh, that was this morning when they were talking about it.
Really?
Yeah, they were. Well, a few days ago when it was forming.
Well, now I saw
said it was going to turn into
damn, it's time for me to go to the coast.
And I'm thinking, I hate to say it, but this year I think is going to be a bad one for it.
I thought that for the last couple of years. I really have. Normally, when they holler for a bad year like that, it turns out to be a wimpy one.
Well, I don't listen to them. I go by how it's turning out.
Damn. Now, what life may end up getting evacuated because he ain't too far from the coast itself. I'm about 3 hours from it.
Well, the lady I was talking about might have up here. She just got her power turned back on. She lives in Louisiana, and she lost power for almost a week.
Damn. I like to know where this is zeroing in at. Would it be in the Gulf or would it be on the east?
It's not. It's down Bahamas and all those little islands down there.
Oh, I know that, but still,
Well, you don't know yet until because every time they project the path, it always turns.
True.
Yeah, because remember the one last year they said, oh, it was going to go the one side, and it was going to go to Texas, and then it ended up going straight through Florida.
Shit, I think the other people were drunk.
Well, there's so much variables that they can predict all they want, and Mother Nature does what she wants.
Exactly. Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself.
One thing though, that reminds me when I just said Mother Nature.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you guys seen what was going on in Yellowstone National Park thing.
Where the land is starting to rise up a little bit.
No, nothing about that.
Oh, okay. No.
Fruit Loops.
Oh, hell. Again, I thought we got away from that.
Yeah, the Rangers, evidently there's a bunch of them that are, that way. So they had their own thing, their pride, whatever you want to call it, thing. And they all dressing up and going through the park, and at least I can say this much: they had clothing where there should be clothing, and not like some of these to where shouldn't be. But for me, I think if you're going to do it, you shouldn't wear a uniform for the National Park Association or whatever it is, park ranger or whatever. But it is getting about that time. Oh, wait a minute. Is the Vineyard Chicks even going? Oh, yeah. There it is.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to send everybody over to the Vineyard Chicks. And then later on after that, I do believe Craig is going live at 10. And possibly 10 is going live probably around 11. I'm not sure at the exact time though, but like I said, head over to Vineyard Chicks and tell them we sent you. And I think they got some good music going on over there and stuff for tonight. Let me see. Yeah. Lori's World, and Meemaw's out of the hospital and she's home, so that's even better. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it here.
Wait a minute. Thank all the mods for the hard work that they do in chat. And we do appreciate all of you.
Who's Craig?
That's a good one, Suburban.
And Cashew put his link up there. Yep. And there's Vineyard Chicks. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully I'll have the true crime, which I think everybody will enjoy, the true crime stuff, because it kind of goes along with where we're at with things. So hopefully we'll have her Wednesday. If not, I'm sure, because she already said she wants to do it. She just got her power back on and everything. So hopefully. But again, thanks guys for hanging out, and hopefully we will see you Thursday over at Jeff's place.
Well, I appreciate it. And hopefully if we got power, I'm going live because we're supposed to get severe thunderstorms rest this week. So, all right.
And we will catch you on the next one.